Right, second time lucky. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and welcome to Bradford City Chickens on the Loose podcast. And hopefully today, and hopefully now, technical free, I am joined by Lee. Hopefully Lee should be able to hear me loud and clear.
Success.
I should have rang IT. You turn your computer on, then off again, or off and on again. So we are working again. Typical PCs. Right. So I know we touched on it yesterday on the podcast, what we did with Steve as at the Bradford City Independent Group. What's your thoughts on the Salford game from yesterday?
The Salford game?
Yeah.
I just think the same as yesterday. We lacked any idea going forward. We were all right. First half, early goal, killed us again. And we never really recovered. We couldn't get a second goal to win the game. It was just, don't know, poor.
Yeah, bit of a dire game, wasn't it?
Atmosphere were flat, team were flat, everything were flat.
Yeah, just don't feel we have a big improvement against Swindon tomorrow. So, who would you say your stand? Do you say anyone played well yesterday?
Not particularly.
You thought it were a bit of a naff game?
Yeah, I just thought everybody seemed to be. I think Halliday had his usual game. Gilead ran about a lot, which he normally does. And that was it. And I'm mystified why Poynton can't get on that game.
He's a good player, isn't he, Lee? You're right, it's just, what is going on?
I was mystified after the game. I've got to say that's a good word, is that? Because I just was. I was like, this in Bradford, I know.
Hopefully. We've got a couple of people. So we've got.
We had Diane, Chris.
Yeah, Chris is here. So welcome aboard, Chris. If you can hear me, are you there, Chris?
He's down as a listener.
I am.
Oh, he's there.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey up, mate.
What was your thoughts on the Salford game yesterday? Sorry.
On Salford game?
Yeah, on Salford game.
Yeah, well, on Salford game, I thought, basically, Halliday played well.
Yeah.
I thought Gilead was running his socks off, going up and down pitch. Basically, Cook didn't get any sort of possession, did he, realistically? Because he wasn't getting any crosses. Even though we had the likes of Smith and Tyreek on, it was just not... It was failing on every bit. And I just felt, my wholeheartedness sort of just felt that everything was lacklustre. And the main point that I wanted to raise, like I raised yesterday, was the fitness. It just didn't look there.
It didn't.
And what do you think's causing that?
I don't know. I'm thinking it's because of probably lack of training or how they are training. I'm not sure whether they're doing like what they used to do in McCall's era. You know, when McCall was manager, they were all attacking all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it were quite entertaining games. You look at what Hughes has done and how we were losing most games, and then Alexander's come in to try to steady ship, and we've got the same drawl sort of training regime set in place. It's just not happening for us because we have games like, I mean, look at Crawley. I think the first half we were good, and second half we were shocking.
Dire.
Yeah.
And it was dire. It was dire. And I just don't get it. I don't get how we can.
You sound as
play like a
confused
team.
as me.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes when we're playing, like what we played against Derby, Derby had a good team out,
Full
and
strength.
we ran at them all the time, didn't we? But then you look at how we played on Tuesday with Salford. It were poor.
We won no second balls or anything, did we?
No, we didn't.
There were nobody running apart from Halliday.
No, they weren't. You're right. And another thing as well, it's like someone mentioned. I think it was you, Lee. To be honest, when we were on the other night, you said, "Look, the supporters, all us lot. If we can see people putting an effort in, running up to players, tackling them, making sure that they're trying to get the ball.
Yeah.
You know, it don't matter whether we lose 3-0, as long as we know that we've played to the best of our abilities and we've put a right effort in, all fans would just be there. They'd be, yeah, we played well."
Exactly right. That's how it's always been.
Yeah, I agree. It's
players
that's
show they've
how
got
it's
a
been
pair.
forever for what.
We'll support them forever.
I became a City fan at 7-year-old.
Yeah.
And I'm now 51. I've been a season ticket holder for decades and decades. So it's like I'm a bit long in tooth myself, but there you go.
And hopefully now Miss Diane should be able to hear us.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Sorry about the technical difficulties.
I've got me.
It was the PC. It was a PC issue, and typically,
PC issue.
I had to turn the PC off and turn it back on again.
Control or delete. Fed, check it out of the window and it works.
Happy days. So I know you just
on a laptop, can't you?
You just come in, Diane. So what is your thoughts on the Salford game?
Obviously, I didn't go, did I, because of my ankle. I stayed at home. Can I say that I thought it played crap? I nearly fell asleep again. I managed to stay awake. I heard what everybody was saying. They played crap, poor balls, and Halliday were the only one that were playing.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
So just looking at the ratings on FootMob, what I like to use, Walker got 6.7. Tomkinson got 6.9, Taylor got 6.8, Stubbs got an 8, Rydall 6.4, Smallwood 7, Gilliard 7, Halliday 8.3, Wright 6.4, Cook 6.1, and Odor 6.5, Chapman 6.6, Tyler Smith 6.2, Kevin McDonald 6.1.
Why does he always keep playing Clark at all?
I was just going to ask that same question.
Why is he always playing him when we've got chappers that he could come on for, or somebody else, or Bobby?
For sure.
Oh, I'm in one of them moods today. Can you tell?
I can tell.
Diane, I totally agree with you myself.
Go for it, Diane.
The door just seems to run up his own backside.
It gets in the way. I've said it time and time again. He doesn't know where to run.
He'll take it up line and then he'll turn around, come back and run into a player.
Mark Ellis used to do that.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if he's been coaching him.
So,
is anyone else
from South Africa?
Anyone else got any thoughts on the Salford game before I move on to the Swindon game?
Yeah, my thought is, let's forget that. Hopefully things will change and we'll absolutely smash Swindon. Yeah. Let's be positive. Swindon's next. Bring them on.
Right, so...
Yeah, but I hope he puts a proper team out as well. And by that, I mean putting your pointing in.
He's got to get a game. What has that kid done wrong? Every time he plays well.
Correct.
Yeah. I forgot to ask my mate. She saw some at lads training today because she was quite happy, the one that I know, and I forgot to ask if Jake Young was training. I literally should have asked if he was training.
So moving on now to the Swindon game. And I'm going to take a really deep breath. Right. So Swindon versus Bradford City, 27th of January 2024, kick-off at 3 p.m. at the City Ground. And the referee is Jeff Eltram, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Johnny, is it helping you when I'm getting all these appointments for you?
Yeah.
Is it helping you?
It helps me.
Go.
So basically, I put the referee's name in Google, and somehow, some miracle, we actually find some stats on the referee for once. So in the Championship, he had 11 appearances. He's given out 47 yellow cards, no sending offs. League One, he's had four appearances, 13 yellow cards. He's given 1 second yellow card. In the FA Cup, he's had 1 appearance and he's dished out 1 yellow card. In the EFL, he's had 1 appearance and 7 yellow cards. Altogether, he's had 17 appearances. He's given 70 yellow cards and 1 yellow card. Moving on then to when last time we played Swindon, and there's absolutely thousands of these. So I'm just going to go to 2015 when we lost 2-1 against them. That were we played them. Oh no, sorry, yeah, played them at home away. Don't know what's going on here. It's named it twice for some strange reason. In 24 February 2015, we lost 2-1. 8th of August, we lost 4-1. 9th of April 2016, we won 1-0. 2016 still 1-0. Oh, we lost 1-0 away and going up. So we've had 7 wins, 5 draws altogether, and 5 wins. So let's start off with Miss Dan again and just work away. Thoughts just on the Swindon game, really? Who do you hope to pick and other bits and bobs?
Well, I hope they put Bobby and Chappers in to start. Oh, and then hopefully, can I do the fingers crossed, please? Jake Young. So I think my squad would be Washing goal, even though I've not seen him play yet. But I'm trying to work out. You know what I'm like with my players. I keep forgetting. Halliday. Rydall. Platt. Tom Kingston. Oh, sorry about this. I'm going through it now. Gilliard. Smallwood. Can you tell me how many players I've got there, please? If anybody can count for me.
I don't know. You've got about 6 players there. Where are you, by the way?
I think you need two more in midfield and 3 up top.
You sound really you sound really quiet today. Are you middle of nowhere?
You keep fading as well a little bit.
Yeah, you keep fading. Are you middle of nowhere?
Morning.
You need some new earphones, Diane. Look. They're shocking. Right, have you pulled your earphones out?
He sees the earphones and needs some new.
There we go.
Hey, I'm a
Where
woman.
we can hear you loud and clear now. You're coming in our ears.
Oh, good. That's all right. Right, what I said about how many more players did I need? Looking up front. Young.
Yeah, you do it the same again, Diane. Love.
Oh God.
Diane, just take your headphones out. It's easier.
I know we're on.
Bloody hellfire!
Hanging on your
This
every
podcast is. Yeah, it's going to get renamed the Technical Podcast. This
I'm
today.
here. Is that better?
Wait, that is better.
Finally.
Don't plug your earphones in. The shit. Put it this way. Some new ones.
I know, I've got some new ones. I need to get them all sorted out. Right, how many players? Oh God! I just hope we win now and put somebody in team. Pointing and Chappers.
Yeah, so Steve, he has to go with attacking intent. Pointing and Chappers have to start. 100% agree with you there. Right, Chris, what's your thoughts on the game tomorrow?
I'm going to go with a punt out there, right? I think we could win 1-0. But he's got to put out the strongest team. He can't do any of this flowery. And if I see the Doring team on pitch, I'm not going to be happy.
We'll put a Doring stand, hopefully.
He'll end up starting. Bet you anything he'll start.
Well, we used to say in my
Yeah.
day, let's play him at left back in dressing room.
Yeah, he'll end up starting. It always happens, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
he's got to put his best team out.
to.
You know, Swindon are one of these. Look, firstly, they've lost their talisman. Because their talisman's come back to us now, and rightly so.
Well, they've lost their other one as well, haven't they? He's gone.
Kemp.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he scored for MK Dons. Is it MK Dons he plays for? Yeah.
So according to Simon Parker, I'm just having a quick look on the preview. I don't think anyone else has scored for him. Jake Young is Jake Young and Dan Kemp, 16 goals apiece.
Yeah, they've lost 32 goals, haven't they, with 2 players?
Yep. So looking at that then. Yep, so Swindon are 17th, we're 16th. Swindon's players one to watch. Swindon will be backing on experienced Charlie Austin for goals after their key departure during the transfer window. And when I saw him play at Bradford City at home, he was absolute dog. So our top goal scorer on 13. Is anyone else the one that had? Because I know people don't hear my voice all the time. Anyone else anything they want to add to it? Chris, Ian, Diane?
I think we've got it. I think we've got it in bag. Because if we pull out another game like we did on Tuesday night, I don't know what I'm going to do myself. I'll still get my season ticket because I always will.
Yeah.
But it's like we always seem to play. I'm going to say marginally better after a poor situation like Tuesday.
There's always a bit of improvement, isn't there?
Yeah.
Look what happened after the Crawley game. How we played against Derby.
Personally, do not think he will play Young. Not from start. He might have him on bench.
I'm hoping he comes on.
Yeah, I think he might have him on bench. But I'm hoping Adore gets, left out totally. And he plays Poynton or Chapman or both.
Yeah, things need to change, don't they? Especially with the team.
And what's Smith? Tyler Smith needs to be on pitch.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I would personally, I agree with, I can't remember who said it, but I really hope Jake Young does start tomorrow and ends up scoring. He'll probably won't celebrate like.
I'd be surprised if it does, Matt. Honestly,
he's back in training though.
One day,
he can't.
And he said he qualified. I don't think he'll start him. I think he'll shove him on bench.
No, I think he'll bring him on with about maybe 20 minutes to go, something like
Hopefully
that.
not only 5 minutes like he's done.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or does any of you lot think we are missing Walker?
We're definitely missing him without any doubt at all. Not a shadow.
Yeah.
And he's just had a setback because of a G5
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
What's everyone's thoughts on Smallwood?
I'm going to be honest with you. Shit.
Well, I'm glad somebody else thinks the same as me then.
Because watching him, Chris, at games and stuff, I probably, because I see him posh boxes in the 1911. The Ox paper.
I'm waiting to see the same player that we saw playing for Hull.
But he can't cross to save
balls on the pitch and put killer balls, so I've never seen him do that for us.
I just don't understand, though. Surely, it's like I were at the game and all there, and I'm like, please don't take a corner, don't take a free kick. When we got a free kick and he rocked up for a free kick, I'm like, bugger off, you can't even clear it first, man.
This might be controversial.
That's his corners.
This might be
I don't understand
but I've never seen him, the player. I think he's just here for paycheck and there.
I just don't understand what Alexander doesn't see in him, though. Like, why, if we see it in the stands, has he like got his roast? Is he coming to a blooming game off his tits or something? Watching them play in training.
It certainly looks like
he's
it.
not watching the same game I do.
No, you see him in middle at park, and he'll go from left to right. He'll have kicked a couple of passes, and he just spreads it out. Now, I don't begrudge him that, because that's what that type of player is. You know, I'll go back. McCall used to do it all the time. But the thing with what McCall used to do to what Smallwood doesn't, Smallwood's crossing. 9 out of 10 crosses are wayward.
Another thing with McCall is he'd get in box and stick it in back at net from time to time as well. Smallwood's got one goal, two maybe.
Yeah, don't forget when Smallwood didn't play that time, we played good last year.
But who did we have in? Lad from Doncaster that we let go. Oh, yeah. No, we'd Walker as well, but the lad that we got from Doncaster. And we let him go. And he was a much better player than Smallwood.
Who was the lad from Doncaster?
That's what I'm trying to think of.
Midfielder. We let him go at end of season. I've forgotten his name. Now I've said it, I've forgotten his bloody name.
That's old age.
You sure he went to Doncaster?
No, he didn't go to Doncaster. He came from Doncaster to us.
Oh, bloody hell.
What's his name? Come on, Diane, you're good with.
Well, do you want me to go?
Yes.
Google.
Yeah, do a Google.
Google
Diane.
A player from Doncaster.
Midfielder. Knocking on a bit.
Played
at the top. What the hell?
I know you mean.
Not my fault.
No, I know he means it's.
What the hell do they call him?
Not faulty, no, not my fault.
No. We should have kept Foles. That annoyed me when they let him go.
Definitely Doncaster, yeah?
He came from Doncaster. He played against us.
Played for us last season.
He played part season. Doncaster let him go. What the hell was it?
No,
Clayton, that's him.
Cheers, Tony Christie and Banter and Matt. Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We've got brains. We're getting a bit old now. We can't remember stuff.
I don't think it's just computers that are letting us down, is it, today?
It's everything.
Yeah.
Everything's letting us down. Definitely, it's a technical today. Yeah.
Why on earth were he allowed to go? Yeah, his legs had gone, but he had the nous. I don't know if anybody will remember a player that used to play for Ipswich, Brian Talbot. He started playing in lower leagues. Played against him many times, did Bradford, and he just used to sit in midfield. Yep. Ball would be pinged from here to there to wherever. He'd get on the end of it eventually and stick one in himself. He was an absolute awesome player, even when he couldn't run.
I think with him, though, I think quite a lot of players probably fell out with Mark Hughes, I reckon.
I think he was starting to lose dressing room.
I think they did. He did lose the dressing room.
I think he did.
I agree with that.
But I think they were allowed to buy too many players. You can't keep that many players happy. You just can't.
Yeah. Definitely agree with you on that.
You know what I think City look like sometimes at the moment? And this is in top third. Yeah. I don't know why nobody is either firstly giving a proper ball in for Cook or the shooting from anywhere. No, they don't do that. They do like what? If you're as old as what my life is, if you remember Harry Enfield and Chums, he did this Mr. Chumley Warner thing. And it was a show where basically they did this football. The football were stuck to his foot. And basically they started game and he had to dribble through ball, but ball never left his foot and he run it into goal. That's exactly what we're trying to do. They're scared of trying to
scared of pulling trigger. Yeah. I've said it many times.
To be fair,
totally agree with you.
To be fair, though, Gilead did try it on Tuesday and he hit the post and then we scored from it.
You did.
But that's what we need to do more. Just shoot. Because, especially Gilead's got a shot behind him. If players have got shots behind him, it only just takes a keeper to spill it like he did on Tuesday. Player comes in, taps it in, and we get a goal.
Well, going back to Smallwood, that's what annoys me about him. He hit an absolute worldie. But it's 2 seasons ago now. This is second season. He scored 1 goal, which is an absolute cracker. He just thumped in at top corner. He's never done it since. He should be encouraged to have a dig.
So moving
Yeah,
on.
just saying now he can't get it past first man.
So moving on from like the Swindon stuff and just basically opening it up to quite a few things now. So do you hope we're going to get a couple of players or anything, or do you reckon some players are going to go? We've got a couple of couple of days left before transfer window closes. So do you hope we bring some players in? Do you want some to go? Who do you reckon? And just start with anyone really.
Well, rumour is that kid from MK Dons, but
yeah, the one that's left MK Dons by mutual consent.
Why do we need another midfielder? I mean, maybe we do, but I don't think we do.
Maybe to Patterson Walker. Because Patterson's out for 10 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, Walker's going to be at least next month, isn't he? Somebody was saying.
Yeah. You mean Ashley Hunter?
That's the one. That's the one.
It's all right. Twitter comes in useful when I'm on the iPad.
Funny thing is, I posted that earlier. I put a question mark.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Do you know,
I put that, and then like Twitter just went off on one. Everyone were retweeting it. I'm thinking, bloody hell, I'm not going to give you all lucky lottery numbers here, but do you know when you just think something's going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you give me lottery numbers, please?
Yeah, 7.
What was that player? What was that player that? Again, it were on Twitter, but it was for some striker from Forest Green Rovers.
Oh,
and they said that it was coming on
Matty, what's his second name?
Is it Matty?
Not Smith. What do they call him?
I know you mean.
Yeah.
Matty Stevenson, is it?
Something like that.
Yeah, Stevenson, something like that.
Yeah. Matty Stevens, something like that.
Yeah, they said that he was just having his final medical, and then that's just fizzled out.
Well, I'll be honest, when it comes to Bradford and signing players, I'm still waiting to find out who they got over at Whitewash, but we couldn't sign him because it was too late and it was after midnight. And do you remember a player that said, "Oh, we've got him, got him"? Mark Hughes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And no, we don't have him.
After 11 o'clock.
Yeah, no, we don't have him. I still don't know.
Matty Stevens.
Yeah. They'll probably want to come to us because they probably want to eat proper pies.
Hey.
I didn't say that about Forest Green Rovers.
Second Hopkins.
Problem is with the team, though. I think I know you just spoke about 10 minutes ago, Lee, when we did the technical difficulties, and you said you've done a bit of research, haven't you, and stuff on players.
Currently, at our club, now that Tyreek Wright's with us, we've got 34 players in total. We've got 6 out on loan from that, and we've got 4 that's come in on loan.
Bloody hell.
So when Graham Alexander today said, well, it was today, wasn't it? Because that's when we get to see his thing, that we'd have to let someone go before we could bring someone in. But we've got a couple of players that we're looking at. Are they looking at bringing one player in or what? I know we're going to let go if someone does come in. It's smoke and mirrors. It's like, well, what are you talking about? Are you going to bring someone in or not? Is there someone
in his press conference the other day, it was on about. He got asked a question. He's like, "Oh, we're looking at somebody from, like, in other words, the lower leagues because we can't afford the Championship. So either he's looking at League 1, League 2, or National League for some players. So I think possibly some players may go between now and the 1st of February.
I think they need to.
Yeah.
I don't know why Ryan Tulloch's still with us, because he's not going to play him. His club are saying they're not particularly interested in taking him back and that he should be looking for another club. Are we going to sign him?
We better not, because he's done jack shit, and that's making me
been allowed to. He hasn't played. He scored in his last game. We haven't seen him since. Vidane Oliver's out on loan. Is he going to come back?
Hopefully not.
Yeah. Freddie Jeffries has not touched a ball this season since Alexander came in. What's he done wrong?
Yeah.
Well, as a midfielder.
I just don't think he likes youth, does he? Really? I know
I think
Bobby
it's not
Poynton's
right.
played a couple, and then he's just like, yeah, can't be asked. But
We've got 3 goalkeepers. One of them's out on loan. We've got 13,
he's out on loan till end of
13
season
defenders, 8 midfielders, and 10 forwards. And just on numbers alone, you'd think, well, why haven't some of them players been playing? Because the ones that haven't been doing that well.
Does anybody know
You
which?
see-
Sorry, Chris.
I was just going to say, Alexander in his Twitter post after the Salford game, he was going on saying how poor it was, yeah. But then he was saying in this window that he was going to go for another striker, but someone who knows where the goal is. Because he said that about the last third, we've got nobody that will go anywhere near that rectangle that is a net. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. Because if we are saying we've got 10 forwards, my God, if you can't pick a good one from that, I don't know. Or are they all crap?
And do you think?
I don't think they're all bad.
I know
We just don't play them.
I know we touched on it a little bit yesterday on Steve's space, what we did. But what do you reckon of Andy Cook? Do you reckon he can't be asked now because he's like,
I think it's
there's not to play for?
He makes runs and
Like what we
gets
said
in way.
yesterday. Yeah, I'd take him out for a game.
You mean like
And
Matt
then-
Hughes did it over Christmas last year, didn't he?
Yeah. And he come
Took
back
him
and
out.
he played at least 4 or 5 games after that. He played well.
Yep.
Might not have been scoring goals, but he's very good at hold-up play as well.
Yeah, but then again, don't forget their defenders will take a look and they will defend him. That you've seen the players pulling his shirt and
Yeah.
everything and holding him back, but referees are doing nothing about it.
I think he's playing well, to be honest. In a crap team.
He's just not getting service league.
No.
But he's still got what is it, 11 or 12 goals.
He's got 12, hasn't he?
Yes.
Do you think referees have got wise to him though now? Like, for example, Drystone booked him, didn't they? And then he always gets his shirt pulled. Like you see it, and you're like, ref, fucking he's pulling his shirt, ref. And then eventually, I think at the game on Tuesday, we actually got some cheers because the referee actually awarded some free kicks because his shirt were getting pulled and stuff.
And then Lions should see it as well sometimes.
Yeah, but Lions people are blind; they can't see out.
They are,
even if it's 2 centimetres in front of them.
I know. Let's see what happens with the Lady Lions on Tuesday night. But hey ho, we'll forget about them ones for now.
Yeah. Right. Is anyone else anyone else got anything they want to say about the game or anything, or transfer news or what?
I just want us to get a win.
Yep, that's all we need.
Faultless line.
Yeah. And do you think Young will stay, or do you think he's going to go? Or do you think it's going to be like a last hour thing where he buggers off and we've got no replacement?
That could be, but I think
it'll short him order if he don't play him.
Yeah.
If he don't play him tomorrow, then I think that's it. That's writing on wall. It's well and truly. He's going to wait until last minute. He's got someone coming with a cost already, and they'll just let him go.
I think he'll stay. There's no point in going anywhere else.
If he wants to play for us, that is.
And what do you make I just need to get it up actually. Football. There we go. I've seen it somewhere. Where did I see it? I read it somewhere where I can't remember where I saw it. When you're on about Graham Alexander saying basically he's not lying about Jake Young being injured.
That was his interview today, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bantam's boss says he's speaking the truth about Jake Young. Graham Alexander admits he cannot force fans to accept what he says about Jake Young at face value, but instead the truthful is every comment he's made since the City striker is called early from his loan spell. So do you reckon he's actually injured, or do you reckon It's BS.
You don't know, do you?
Well, he's been training, hasn't he? So he
Yeah,
can't be that injured.
Yeah.
So if you don't play him after he's been training, then...
Well, how bad was his injury?
We'll see.
Because Swindon apparently were playing him injured, so...
Apparently ran him into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when did he come back?
Came back the day after the Crewe Alexander came back on the 2nd
of January.
Yeah.
So he's been out for 1, 2. He's nearly been out for 3 weeks. Well, 3 weeks and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like 3 weeks and 6 days or something.
Yep. Yeah, he came back after his loan spell had ended on the 1st of Jan.
Yeah. So surely he's going to be fit now. If he were training, like you're saying, if he even comes on as a sub tomorrow, that'll clamp down basically get rid of the people who've been saying he's lying, isn't he, really?
Yeah.
Quite a lot of things will go, won't they? Like, people have been saying, oh, it's a load of BS that he ain't been playing. But then people be like, oh, yeah, he's staying. Because he can't play. If he comes on tomorrow, he can't sign for another team this season.
No, because you're allowed to play for 2 teams in a season.
Yep.
Definitely.
Right. Anyone else got anything they want to say about anything? Callie,
Have you seen that one about?
Oops, sorry.
Have you seen that one about Graham saying about the 90,000 fans and he understands the frustration? That's on Twitter. Have you seen that bit?
Oh yeah, I've got it up on news article. Yeah, Graham Alexander says Bantam fans right to be unhappy. Yeah, they're fuming. Yeah. Actually, that's going to move on. I know the City Vent is doing a fan forum at the Latvian club on Monday at 7 o'clock. Just want to get people's thoughts on it. Do you think it's right? Do you think it's wrong? And just start off with Diane, really, and we'll work our way around.
I think he'll be right, but is anybody from the club going to be there, or is it just going to be the fans? Will anybody from the club turn up? That's what they were saying last night, wasn't it?
I don't think
anybody from the club will turn. No, I definitely don't think. But I think somebody from this club should turn up to see how frustrated some of the fans are at the moment with the way that it's being run.
I don't think they will, because
they said they'd gone out to some media company, didn't they?
Yeah.
Whether that is a radio based or whatever, but they basically said nobody from the club, which to me that's pointless. If it's just going to be City fans venting, no one's going to hear it. It's not going to go past that room, is it?
I think they're trying to get it live streamed. I think, but don't quote me. I think they're trying to live stream it.
I thought I heard that.
I'm hoping it'll go down.
So I'm going anyway. I'm going to be there Monday because I know we normally do a podcast on a Monday if Bradford play, but there won't be one this Monday due to go into this fan forum.
I think it's a good thing, but I think all Bradford City fans should get together. We all love the club.
Yeah.
For many of us, we supported them many years. No one wants to see Bradford City fold and disappear. No one.
Where is it? Yeah, so hold on. If you're just going to keep chatting a minute for a minute, there we go. Right, so on Amazon there's a programme or documentary. It's like a film, 1 hour 30 minutes, and it's called The Rise and Fall of Pompey, Our Club. And I think you might have to pay it or you can rent. I think it's like £2 or £3 to rent it. But I would give it a watch if it's still available. I've paid for it, so I liked watching it. And it's just basically tells you what it is on the tin, the fall and rise of Pompey, how they went into administration a couple of times and things went wrong. And then eventually the fans took over. And Miss Callie, welcome. Have you got any thoughts on talking about?
Do you know what? This thing that they're doing on Monday, I think it's just going to be a massive witch hunt against Sparks, against the so-called CEOs, the management. We don't have a board. I want to say board, but we don't have a board. I don't get why I mean, you lot might enthrall me, but I don't get why the fans are in such uproar right now. We've only lost one game in the last, how many matches?
I think it's with people can tell me if I'm wrong or right, but I think it's generally about how the club's been ran, and we don't own our own ground. We haven't got our own training facility. We're 16th in league. With communication from the club is non-existent. I know they threw out that.
But this is how it's always
groundsman.
been. It's been like this for decades, hasn't it?
To be honest,
I really don't get why they're all kicking off and they're making these different groups up, because it's always been like this. Yeah, we're 16th, but if you look at it, we're only 2 wins or something away from the playoffs, because it's that tight. The league is that tight right now. So I'm just flummoxed as why people are being like they're being.
I think it's because of the frustration, Callie, to be fair, love, with everything that's happening.
Frustration, because we haven't changed nothing.
No communication.
I know you said it's been like that for years, Callie.
It has.
James Mason and stuff like that, when he was in charge, communication with the club was actually pretty good.
There's been a flashpoint ever since Rhodes wouldn't sell the club back to Bradford City because it was his private pension. Now it's been said that he's back involved in some way because he didn't want to see the club go down or anything.
You on about Gibson or Rhodes?
Rhodes. Flamingo Park. Owner.
Yeah, that's Gibson, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, that's Gibson.
Yeah, Gordon Gibb.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there were actually rumours that Flamingo Land were going to buy it, weren't they, at one point? Yeah, that was a couple of years ago.
I think, don't quote me on this, right, but I know we had discussed this on Steve's podcast yesterday. Let me just quickly find it. Right, so where it says, has there been any serious interest in buying the club? This is from Ryan Sparks, it's on the TNA website. There has been interest parties. I can't say a great deal because I'm bound to a non-disclosure agreement, but things haven't processed this far. So when I see that part there, bound to non-disclosure agreement, I know we touched on this yesterday, I think that means something's happening. And I think something may be coming. Because if he's disclosed to a non-disclosure agreement, he's obviously signed something about something, so he can't say it. So what's just people's thoughts on that, really? And
I think that's just his way of shutting all the rumours down.
It is perfect also when you're buying something like a business or...
where are we? Where's he gone? Has he come? Saj? Sorry, Saj, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, no, I was just going to correct you on the non-disclosure bit.
Go for it, mate.
It don't matter. I think if anyone puts any sort of interest in, they'll sign a non-disclosure. So that's even if they're just kicking tyres.
Yeah.
It don't actually mean out. And I'll just touch on the point Callie said about notes changed. We did own our ground in my lifetime, and we don't now. And you know, we've been in 2 administrations, and I had a look at how other clubs have fared who've been in administration. Only the Football League ones, not the ones that had gone into administration in National League. But 20 of the 29 that have been in administration after us are higher than us. 5 are in the Premier League now, and 1 of them have actually won it, Leicester.
Yeah.
So to sort of accept that, you know, we are what we are, and we shouldn't aspire for better ownership, better running of the club. I think that's dangerous if we have a majority who believe that. I think there should be, and I don't. Before anyone says, "Oh, I don't agree with fan ownership," God help us if we had fan ownership with state of some of the stuff that comes out on Twitter. But yeah, definitely the club needs to move in the right direction. I think commercially it is.
and I'll give Ryan Sparks that. But I
So I know you said you don't.
side.
I know you said you don't believe in like fan ownership.
Yeah.
But there's teams out there who actually, tell me if I'm wrong, but Exeter are under fan ownership.
Yeah, but we're not Exeter, are we? If you think about the size of our city, in comparison to a lot of those who are above us, even now, I think the model works. Self-sustainability works if you're a small club or a small size club. It works if you're competing with a lot of clubs around you. We're not. We've got probably Leeds and Huddersfield, maybe Burnley, but I mean, if you think back, not even that long ago, one of my favourite games where we drew with them with 9 men. We were in the same league. You know, a lot of our sort of fall from grace has been around sort of apathy, and I think I put a tweet up after somebody had called the Rupp and Sparks out mob earlier, and I thought,
I saw that.
rather than biting, I'd just sort of give a sort of balanced view of what I think, and like I said, I think in terms of commercially, we've come on leaps and bounds. You know, we're making deals, we're making money in terms of to cover a deficit anyway, but to be self-sustainable and not get into the messes we've had in the past, which a lot of people are rightly nervous about. But in terms of on the pitch, we've not done nowhere near as enough in terms of strategy, in terms of having the right structure. And I think that's what the frustration's coming out of, and people are just saying it in different ways and perhaps missing the point in some parts. But I think everybody wants the same thing, obviously, which is a successful Bradford City and a move up the leagues. But I think simply chucking money at something, or simply changing ownership or changing managers, isn't going to change anything unless you have a proper strategy on where you want to be, how you want your identity to be, how you're going to develop players, how you're going to reinvest in the squad, and then build around that, rather than try to get managers in who will change everything and we fit them rather than they fit us.
Yeah, it's like looking, because I know the City event put one out. This is, when did he put this out? This was 12:54 p.m. today. Would you financially back a fan-led consultant to buy 1% of the club? Please feel free to accept your comments. And it's got 16 hours left. It's had 1,020 votes, and yes is at 60% or 60.4%, and no is at 39.6%.
Well, there you go.
1,000 out of 20,000.
It's got 16 hours left.
Yeah,
but it's still a pretty.
It's not a conclusive number, is it, by any means?
No, but the percentage shows you how split it is.
Yeah.
Right. And I think anybody who's on Twitter, who's been on Twitter long enough, on our hashtag anyway, will know. You know, a lot of them will be quite wary of having fan ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to the tweet what you're on about, Saj. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name correct. Saj, is it Sanj or Saj?
Sanj. Yeah.
So I've seen the post what you're on about now on Twitter, and this is from him. He question for we have seen Salford fall a number of attempts to get out of this division. They have the class of 92 and structure and money, so why ain't they succeeding? But what that tweet is not adding as well is the bankrolled by the guy who owns Valencia. But then it says Wrexham Stockport make it easy. Wrexham are making it easy, in my opinion, because they've got TV money, they've got movie, they've got Hollywood money. They're throwing money like confetti at Wrexham to get them up. And it seems to be working, throwing money at it. But we are not like that, are we? We ain't got rich owners.
We've got money though. We've spent we've had as they called it, a competitive budget, but we've had a top 6 budget, and in some cases a top 4 budget over the last few years. But like my sort of reply to that was that you can't just have a scattergun approach to signing players, because unless you've got an identity, unless you've got a strategy, how the hell are you supposed to fit players into what you want them to do? I mean, even Wrexham, right? They probably didn't even have to spend that much money. If you got Parkinson, you know what? If they wanted to just get out by hook or by crook, Parkinson's your man, right? Might not be pretty, it might just get you there. I'm sure that geezer had like 21 games without a win with us at one point as well. But you end up with a strategy. That manager fits your strategy. You sign players to those. If you've got the money to pay for that, then brilliant. But if not, you live within your means. Look at clubs like Morecambe and stuff like that who've done it. It's not so much the money. I think a lot of people get caught up in the fact that, you know, we're not spending or we're not breaking the bank to get things, and then you end up with the counter argument that, you know, God, look what happened last time, and, you know, at least we've got a club to follow and all that crap. But you can have a balance, and that's where I think at the moment, in terms of a fan base, we're proper struggling with having a balance, because you either get somebody on one side basically going, you know, we don't want admin again, and, you know, we're just happy to have a club, or you get someone on the other side calling you a happy clapper because you don't agree with, you know, that school of thought. So, you know, you end up, if the club could just come forward with a strategy, a proper strategy, it would go a long way, because then at least you've got something to actually hold them accountable.
It would take away a lot of the angst, wouldn't it? Yeah.
And, you know, if you've got that strategy, they're not following it, then you've got to stick to beating with. Yeah. You know? But at the moment, like, nobody seems to have any sort of concrete way of, and you know, I admire people wanting to come together and wanting to have a united voice, but unfortunately, if you haven't got a united voice, you know, on all the bloody social media platforms, how the hell are you going to have it when you want to go to the club? Because everybody wants different things.
Yeah. Do you know any, like, I would love someone to know what a happy clapper actually is, because I don't actually know what that means. I know it sounds a bit stupid, but what is actually a happy clapper?
It's just a silly way of. It's a word to beat people up with when they don't agree with you. It's kind of like how other people do it in politics with, like, woke and stuff like that. If it's something I don't like, then you're a happy clapper.
I get called a happy clapper all the time.
You're just classed as a sheep.
Because I'm positive. I'm always positive towards the club, and I'm always one of these that says, get behind your team. Don't not go to games. Don't set up all these.
Don't throw tennis balls on
tennis balls. Yeah. Exactly. Get behind your team and shout for your team. And get bums on seats. Get some more money behind the club and support your team. And that's how I define a happy clapper, because I get called it all the time.
The problem is getting bums on seats, Callie. Like, under Derek Adams, like, it's deja vu for me. This, like I keep saying, Groundhog Day. If we're losing games, we're 16th in league, you won't fill that ground. Like, looking back at
even more so to go.
Too many managers.
To get behind them, to change it.
Definitely.
This is what I get angry with people like that.
We've just had too many managers.
There's people that are like Lee that can't get to games because of disabilities, etc. But they want to go, but sometimes they can't.
And they're in spirit.
And people like Lee get called happy clappers. Winds me up.
On Tuesday night, when there were sort of like, well, they said there were 18,000 there, which they want.
No, because they counted all the season ticket holders, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I think, look, I think a lot of that not going were down to weather, because we'd had all those really bad winds and this, that, and other. And I think people saw that it was raining, it was windy.
Well, it was proper storm, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd balance that out with, you know, a lot of people go to watch their club regardless of distance and weather and stuff, when
That's you, Callie,
they
isn't
feel,
Yeah,
they feel
exactly.
I
like,
totally agree.
I travel from Nottingham to all home games. So
Yeah.
the home game for me is an hour and a half. Well, it's 3 hour round trip for every home game, and then I go to all the away games. But that's better for me because I'm in the middle of the country, so I can get to all the south games like your Exeters and your Gillingham, Stevenage, all them kind of ones because it's not as far for me that way.
yeah,
But I've sat there in the I've had to have dragged when she were 10, when Lainey were like 10-year-old. I've dragged her to an home game when we had Storm Andrew or something, and it were blowing into the
Oh,
cop.
God.
And we sat there, and even though it was a bad game, we still sat there to the end. I've left one game, I think. One game at half time, and it were Blackpool away, and we were losing, which Johnny knows about. We were losing 3-0.
Yep.
And the weather there was atrocious, and we'd had enough. We just went.
We ended up in a
But that's
casino
the
that
only
day.
game. Yeah, we went into Pink Casino.
I was swapping shirts.
yeah, I mean,
at the casino.
if Bradford City is in your blood and you've supported it all them years, nothing stops you going. I'm sorry. If it does, then to me, I'm probably going to get slated for this, but to me, you're not a proper supporter because you would not support your club.
This is the
I
problem,
agree,
though,
Kelly.
isn't it? This is the problem, though, isn't it? It's
And I know it's frustrating. I get frustrated, and I think all this young situation. I'm probably going to touch on stuff you've already said now, but
Go for it.
this young situation. If the club, and I disagree with the club that they don't communicate with us enough. They never, but they haven't done for quite a while, have they? Since maybe 10, 15 years ago now. But
don't make it all right, though, does
no,
it?
it doesn't.
No.
And if they just come out and say, right, this is what we want to do, young. We're going to see if an offer comes in for him. If it does, we may sell him. If it doesn't, do you know what I mean? Just to explain that if it did that, the fans won't get as like they're doing this forum on Monday. They wouldn't do that if the club were more communicated to us.
I don't think they have to say that, but I just think they have to just. If they already communicated a lot to us, we'd probably trust them more.
The price tag they've put on Young's head is telling other clubs we're not wanting to sell him.
Yeah.
And they ain't going to come down below it, so unless somebody's got a really serious...
Because that means we don't need...
Yeah, but somebody's going to seriously need to want him. And that...
Do we know what price tag Derby put in for him?
No.
So just going back to what Callie said a minute, we've had a couple of lovely Facebook comments. So hello, Facebook. I know you're watching me live. This is from Ben. I will never leave before full-time whistle, and I will always go/want to go to every game unless there's actual reason why I can't go. And then Robbie, again, for me, I work full-time and I try my best to go to every day, but £20-25 is a lot of money for a game when not 11 players give it all on the pitch. So for me and my options, I don't blame the fans that don't go.
Yeah, I get that. That's fair enough comment. I get that. It's each individual fan's prerogative, isn't it, whether they go or they don't go.
Diane, you got your hand up, love?
But it's mine. It's just my prerogative that I go.
Yeah, just on the back of that, I started going back to Bradford like last season again, but due to personal circumstances, I couldn't go for a few seasons because of the other half when you were being disabled and stuff. And I started going back. Got my season ticket for this season. Last season, I was still buying tickets, but I had to stop going for when he passed away, which we'll won't touch on that. But I'm back now. I've always been a City fan ever since I was younger, and my house looks onto. I can see Valley Parade from my house. That's why they think I've bought it. Parents think I bought it because I can see Valley Parade, and the first score, even when I wasn't going to matches, was always looking out for City. All the time.
Because I started following, I think I started following Bradford in 99, 2000. My dad took me to a game against Arsenal. I can't remember what score it was. But then when you're young, you follow like every single team going. Like I admit I supported Liverpool, and then I supported Liverpool quite a bit. But then when I got a little bit older, obviously get your own money, don't you? Then you start going to games, and that's how I ended up getting my season ticket. And I fell in love with the club. But
my dad took me when I was younger. in '87. That's how I fell in love with Bradford City as well.
I don't want to say when I first started going because it just makes me feel really old.
Sure, you do. Just because you're a few years
I
older
feel
than
your
me,
pain.
Callie.
1959 for me. I'm saying no.
But it grabs you. It's that kind of club. Do you not all agree? It's that kind of club that actually grabs you. You see, for
Yeah.
me, I was involved in that. Like Lee, I was involved in the fire. And when something like that happens, because I was 15 when that happened. When you go through with a club and you support them that long, and you go through such a tragic day like that, it grabs you. And even if you wasn't at the fire or you know about it, it still grabs you, doesn't it? And it
I can't
stays
agree
with
with you
you.
enough.
It absolutely stays with you forever.
Look at
I
how
used to go home and
Bradford
away.
City. Look at Bradford. After that, they
Yeah.
all came together.
Absolutely.
It didn't matter what creed or colour you were.
Yeah.
It didn't matter
The whole community of Bradford
anything
came
that could have.
together.
If you were a Conservative, if you were Labour, if you were a bloody
Yeah.
space alien but living in Bradford,
Yeah.
you all came together.
Absolutely. And that's I think we miss a bit of that
I
now.
think it's still there.
Yeah, for some
But it's
of it
like
is.
Stan just said.
Yeah.
It's identity.
It is.
Yeah.
At this moment in time, we just don't seem to be
That's
there.
a legacy of
We're
1985.
going through the same motions.
Yeah.
But anyway, here we're talking about the Swindon game and other things. We're trying to
Do you
be on
know,
a better note than
when
we
we're
were on
talking
Tuesday.
about Bradford City like this, Swindon doesn't even matter.
It doesn't.
It just
doesn't,
doesn't.
does
No,
it?
no.
Well,
And
we're
that's
going to win
heartening
anyway.
for me to hear. It really is. And
Shall we talk
on that
about see if we
Liverpool
can get to
thing,
semi-final
Johnny,
at Bristol Street
on
Motors?
that Liverpool thing, Johnny, my favourite game was watching Bobby Campbell sticking the rebound from Mr. Clements after my mate Terry Dolan had hit a cracking free kick. 1-0. I cried. I cried. The mighty Liverpool.
I've cried a couple of times back from football.
Do you remember the Chrissy Waddle?
Do you know I did? I was selling programmes that day, and Chris Waddle turned to Neville Southall in the Everton goal and said, "I'm going to lob you from halfway line." So look for it, and he did.
He absolutely did.
And I'm going to be blunt here. I absolutely pissed myself laughing at that because all you could hear when they were coming off the pitch was Southall going, "You fucking bastard." So I thought we were going to beat him up, but what a legend.
He was short. We're short. That's what we're short of as a club. We're short of things like that as a club. You know, like little things in games that happen like that. That doesn't seem to happen as much nowadays.
We don't see it, but I'm hoping it does.
Yeah.
Don't we think though that this is the reason why we're all sort of divided?
Yeah.
because I think, like, listening to you guys,
was old age, you mean?
Yeah, well, I'm what, I don't know, how old am I? Nearly 40. So I've followed City since I was a kid as well. I've lived down south now, but originally from Fries and all. But the everybody seems to want the same thing, like I said, but I think we get lost in either nostalgia.
No, exactly where you're going with it. I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Or we end up we've got to accept, and I think, like me, I'm sort of in a sort of transitional generation because I started following City, I think 94, 95, and you know that's when the good times were just coming, and you know there's a lot of fans now, especially on Twitter and stuff like that, who haven't seen that. You know, the only taste of success has been, you know, getting to a League Cup final and getting tonked, which in my eyes,
2013.
Which in my eyes was like, you know, I'm going to be brutal here, but you know, I didn't care much for flag waving and cheering and, you know, how well we did, because I thought we bottled it in the final. But I've obviously went to Northampton afterwards, and it was great. But I think, like I said, we all want the same things. We just don't have a collective. I don't know how you sort of say it. Like when we have.
The fans are fickle, aren't they?
Yeah, but we don't have a link because we have people who are really annoyed at people not going to matches and stuff like that.
Some of us can't.
Exactly. Or this whole sort of I'm a better fan than you and this and that.
That's bullshit, isn't it?
It's all the stupid infighting and stuff like that. Whereas at the end of the day, we all want the same. We just need to find a common ground, and I don't think there is one at the moment. And I do think it boils down to if we knew what the club wanted in terms of where we want to strategise to be. And believe me, when Ryan Sparks says his strategy is to get out of League Two, and then when we get into League One, we'll see from there. That is not a strategy. That's like a short-term goal,
it's
like I want to lose 5 kg or something.
Idea.
Yeah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And if he can't do that on the footballing side, my thing is you get a director of football in, you get them to run the strategy, you run the commercials, you keep the money coming in, and let somebody else handle the football who knows what they're doing. And then suddenly you've got a strategy, you've got something you're working towards as a club, and everybody can get behind that.
Well, that's part of what Alexander was saying in his conferences this morning. I'll deal with the football, and we need people to deal with their jobs. So
they need to split it.
Do you think the club basically don't care about the fans?
I don't.
Do you think they don't care about?
I don't believe that, and I really don't want to believe that.
They'd be stupid to do that. I think they're just naive. They're just not good at that part of it, and I think they need people in to be better at that.
Sometimes the passion for the club gets in the way of reasonable thought. Sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like we've had one comment from Ben on Facebook. Need an owner like the Peterborough owner.
Not
I can't pronounce his name. Yeah, but people we've had a comment there saying, "What about hopefully or one day get like an owner like him who's at Peterborough, the Peterborough chairman."
You know how much flack Darren McAntony gets? It's ridiculous, and we look at it from the outside, and we think he's a quality owner. Like he puts money in, he knows his football. And he can sort of have that. His idea, his strategy is obviously to develop youth, pick out the best of non-league and around there, and he's created a structure around that. And then what he does is he sells them on, people like Ivan Toney and stuff like that. And he's created a business model that links in really well with the football model. But he's still got his own fans who are after him all the time on Twitter, which is is nuts because they're not doing as well as they should do.
Isn't he doing a Jurgen Klopp and leaving at end of the season?
No, he keeps threatening that, but he hasn't, because he kept saying on the Hard Truth podcast that he does with I forgot his name now, City fan, isn't he? Forgot his name, but he does. He does a podcast with him, and he basically, because he was getting so much flack, he said, "Look, if you want me to go, I'm happy to just go." I mean, he's a Liverpool fan; he don't give a shit. But he's got his pride, and and you can tell that he wants to be right. He's bullish, and he communicates a lot. But again, it's not enough because you end up with fans giving you shit all the time. So,
where are Peterborough? Are they still in League One?
Yeah.
So they're not doing that brilliant. They're not like from where they were, are they? They've been in League One quite a while.
Well, they got promoted, didn't they?
Yeah.
They're doing that. I'll get league table up for you.
Let's have a look. Just out of interest, I'm just wondering what he's done.
Peterborough are second in the league in League One.
Yeah.
So they're up top end, right? Fair enough.
And they had a tough season last season. I think they lost in playoffs, didn't they, to Sheffield United? Sheffield Wednesday, sorry. Sheffield Wednesday, because I think they were like 3-0 up or something. I can't remember.
Wasn't it 4-0?
Pardon?
Wasn't it 4-0 up?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was a mad game. I watched the return leg for some stupid reason, but yeah, it was. They lost out, but they've always been challengers. They've always been around the playoffs. They've always given their fans something to,
cheer.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at us now, I mean, we're going back to this weather thing the other day, but we're sitting like 16th or whatever it was. Not playing great football, but we were under managers like Parkinson and stuff. But that game were absolutely bloody awful. It was so bad, and you think those people who looked at the weather and thought, do you know what? Do I want to go watch a game? The last 3 games have been pretty dreadful. Might have spent money going to Colchester away and stuff like that, and then gone, do I want to go and watch this? And, they were proven right, let's be honest. It was, I feel for the fans who actually went, because they must have sat there thinking, this is awful.
WTF.
We did.
Yeah, so I can't blame him, and I guess Graham Alexander's kind of alluded to that in his interview with on BBC, where he gets it. He gets that we need to give fans to cheer about. There's so much to cheer about, and I don't know. I can't see it this season, if I'm honest with you. It's going to be pretty dreadful.
Sorry, can I just butt in? Am I right in thinking that last season we were doing quite badly, and then we ended up in the actual playoffs?
Yeah, but then
we turned it round, didn't we?
Yeah, but I replied to a tweet, which was back to my 5-tweet essay that I wrote in reply to that strategy thing, where I sort of said we made the playoffs where the underlying stats didn't really have us in with a chance. We basically scraped in, even though we could have actually scraped automatics at one point.
Yeah.
And even that Northampton game.
Again, we were missing Walker, missed out.
Yeah, but we had one lad carrying us with goals, and we had one lad carrying us with saves, and the rest of it were crap. It was so weird. It was like we were shithousing everything. It was brilliant. It's brilliant as a fan, but once that goes, if Andy Cook stops scoring, as we see now, you're suddenly going shit. Where the goals?
Where's plan B?
So before we go to Callie's favourite feature on this podcast, what's everyone's score prediction for tomorrow? Start off with Diane, and then we'll work away.
2-0 to us.
Well, is it me next?
It's Chris, if Chris is still awake.
I say 1-0 City, and it'll be an hard-fought game.
Lee?
I'd agree with Chris on that, 1-0, and I think it'll be a tough game. It depends who we put in squad. If 8 young players, maybe 2-0. They'll be hard.
Callie?
I'm going 2-0 win, because I think we're due a win. I think Graham will have sorted them out now and got them training and whatever else.
Give them a kick up outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, rock it up
and I really hope he gets Young on sub bench, and then I think Young. It's sod's law, isn't it? You always score against your old team, and I hope Young scores. I hope he plays him. I hope he scores, and I hope he gives it big licks to Swindon fans. That's what
He's nowhere near, apparently, though, is he? He's not near, is he?
No. I mean, he's been training, hasn't he, this week, but
I hope he's sold by noon so we can get over it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we need, isn't it? We need that just to let them tell us what's going on. Let us.
No, we don't need money apparently. So
We'll see.
Can I just say as well? I think this cup, little. I know nobody likes this cup that we're in. Everybody slags it off, don't they? But I think if we do well in this cup and we end up getting to Wembley, I think that's going to boost all these fans that
I'd have it on my sideboard.
morbid at the moment.
I'll be honest. I'd have it on my sideboard.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll lift spirits if we do. Even though it's
Wembley's
the Mickey
always
Mouse.
nice, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, we need another trip down to Wembley after that blooming Millwall debacle.
Yeah, we do.
Might be our last one for a while.
I'm still in therapy for that anyway.
But that's it for you, isn't it? This is what happens. We always seem to just lose outright. Like the Carlisle game, end of last season, and obviously Millwall, that was same. And things went kind of downhill after the Millwall game, didn't they, as well?
And don't forget, we've got Lady Liners as well on Tuesday night.
We've got what?
Lady Liners.
Oh, yeah.
You see? I did ask my dad if he'd seen them, because he watches WSL. He can't remember if he's seen them or not.
Is Joey Barton aware that we've got Lady Liners?
I don't know.
Kelly, no. No. I don't.
He probably wears them himself.
I don't want to scrap another episode. Moving on.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Moving on. I don't want to scrap another episode. With 3 hours in, I don't want to scrap another episode.
Can I just say I would love to spend half an hour in a room with Joey Barton. I really would.
Do you want me to back up then, Callum? I'll need Callum back up for you.
The thing is, you'd need ambulance afterwards.
He would.
For what it's worth,
right.
I bet 4-2 on City every game, so we're due.
Do you? What's 4-2 to win?
Yeah, because I said it once, and then now I can't. It's like playing lottery numbers, isn't it? I can't not do it in case it comes in.
There's another guy, isn't there? Is it Dave Brown? He always goes 5-0 City. And that's going to come in one day, isn't it? It's not for sure.
Well, probably before 4-2, because it's been back forever.
Well, I were there when we beat Bournemouth 8-1, and they had Ted McDougall playing for them. There you go.
Yeah, I remember that.
Bruce Bannister before he got sold.
Yeah.
Right, moving on swiftly before I have to scrap another episode.
And it ain't my favourite point at all. You're being sarcastic.
It's my favourite point, because I need to dress up.
Right. Can I get on with Carly's favourite feature now?
Well, I thought it was an item of clothing, personally. I don't know what you mean when you say lady liners. Went right over my head, did that.
I'm not getting into this.
Right. Carly's favourite feature, tomorrow weather forecast, before we get cancelled again and have to scrap another bloody episode.
I'm innocent.
3 hours in it. I know. I don't want to do apology video. Right. Tomorrow's weather's going to be cloudy and it's going to be between 4 to 7 degrees. Has anyone got any last thoughts? Apart from Joey Barton, anybody got any last thoughts before I wound up?
I just hope the fans and everybody there
Swindon.
enjoy the game.
We're going to win.
Enjoy the game.
Actually, Diana, are you going to the game tomorrow?
No, unfortunately, I'm not going to the game tomorrow.
Are we still swollen up?
Chris?
A bit. I am, a bit swollen. Swollen ankle. I don't know what I've done. Oh my God. What the hell has happened to this episode? Yeah, no, my ankle's still a bit swollen, but I will be there on Tuesday night, definitely.
Old-fashioned cure for you. Hot and cold. Bucket of ice.
Sorry, Chris, are you at the game tomorrow?
No. I stopped going to away games because it was costing me too much money.
Are you watching it on iFollow tomorrow, Lee?
I certainly am.
I will be.
I certainly am. I hope. I said that without moving my lips.
Well, I thought I'd answer for you, Lee.
Right.
Well, you know.
I had a mouthful of coffee.
Do you know what? I don't know whether I'm going or not. I know it's late in the day, but I still don't know whether I'm going or not tomorrow.
Right, Kelly.
You can play on Kate anyway.
If you want to go tomorrow, don't leave it too late.
Are you picking me up on the way?
I'll come and pick you up if you want picking up. Just let me know.
Who's going, Johnny? Are you just on your own, or have you got somebody else in the car?
I've got Anne. There's just me and Anne.
Just you and Anne, all right.
Yeah, you have to let me know what you're doing because I'll have to take baby seat out and put it in boot.
How can you sit in that car?
Just arranging stuff. Like a taxi service. Right.
I might catch you tomorrow then, because I'm there. So
Yeah, I think there's.
I'll be there in spirit.
I think there's about 450 going. I think 450 fans. I think I read somewhere earlier.
I wish there were more, so I could fall asleep without no one seeing.
Yeah. Oh,
nah, it's going to be 4-2. It's going to be an absolute banger, isn't it? So
I'll come say hello, Sanj, if we see you tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
And remember, everybody, if you are going to game, take your bulletproof vests with you, because last time I went to Swindon, it all kicked off on the court. And
that was hilarious.
Don't forget to give me Dad a wave. He's sprinkled up and down Midland Roads, in front of Midland Road stand.
Oh, best.
We got started on the way out at Swindon last time, so
yeah. I went with the.
We were on foot though, so we didn't have the luxury of a coach.
I went with Torch's coach.
Yeah, that's why you got all the aggro coming out, because they were all banging on windows, weren't they?
One side at coach, honestly, people were getting smashed. Police were smashing people round back at legs and everything. I wasn't interested in that. I'm interested. I know it's going to sound really dodgy, but there were 3 kids chasing after us, giving it all big V's and stuff. End up putting it on. Yeah, they ended up giving it V's. End up putting Benny Hill music to it. Put it on Twitter.
What, they're like 14-year-old or something and all.
Well, a lot of people got arrested that day, didn't they? So I hope it's safe tomorrow.
Little food shoot brigades.
Yeah. Right. Everybody knows what to do.
Sally knows what I mean.
Yeah.
If you could mute yourself for me, please, Diane. Right. I know it's gone on a bit longer than normal. I want to say thank you, everybody, for joining. It's really much appreciated. Sorry about the technical difficulties. My own fault. I should have rang Callie up first. I needed to turn my computer off and turn my computer back on. Typically, when you need an IT guy, he fails. Also, just to let you know, we have got a little Facebook group on the go. Bradford City Up the Chickens on Facebook. New name for the podcast is Bradford City Chickens on the Loose. That is on every single podcast service around the world. We're going global. Also, if you're listening in them countries, if you want to fancy coming to buy a little small club with a massive fan base, you know what to do. Come and put a bid in for Bradford City. Also, I have got a YouTube page. So close to getting affiliated on there. That's Braysodge1, BRAYSOJ1. So if you don't mind, hit the follow button. And also, if you like what I'm tweeting out and stuff, give us a like on Twitter. And wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next Friday. Ta-ra!